down there. Alicia Begg. Alicia came to us this year having already completed her French dogwood certificate. A fiercely independent young woman, she is looking forward to leaving small-town Victoria to study in Vancouver. I expect she will relish the opportunity to tackle the complex issues that are so often debated at universities. We wish her the very best as she heads off to take a course of general studies at UBC this year. Alex Campbell. Well, this is fitting. Alex is known for his sense of humor and some rather odd rugby rituals, none of which either he or his coaches were eager to divulge. While at St. Michael's, he thoroughly enjoyed his time in the outdoor leadership program, and next year he will study engineering at the University of Alberta. Russell Carlton. An athletic young man, Russell has been involved on both the squash and soccer teams. He was delighted when the soccer B team got into the Cindy finals. When asked what he will remember the most about his tenure at school, Russell said that it would be the fantastic friends made at St. Michael's. Russell is looking forward to maintaining some of those friendships as he heads to UVic this year to study business. Billy Cheng. Billy came to St. Michael's in grade 10, and the fondest memories he will take with him are the close relationships he formed with his Barnacle brothers. He has really enjoyed the leadership opportunities offered in boarding and the chance to compete with the seniors golf team. He's looking forward to the summer so that he can swing the clubs just a little bit more and get ready to take a gap year before moving on to the University of Toronto. Natreen Chook. Natreen is famous among her peers for the sheer number of APs she took. She's also universally feared for her competitive drive during house games. When she wasn't terrorizing the intramural competition, she was heading up the business club, and next year she'll be studying medicine at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Clarence Choi. Clarence's big grin will be missed as he ventures off to business school at the University of Calgary. He's made great strides both academically and athletically since arriving at the senior school. His best memories come from the rugby pitch, where the Smooths' first 15 were victorious over crosstown rival Oak Bay in this year's hotly contested boot game. Isaac Chung. Originally from Hong Kong, Isaac joined the Smoo family as a boarder in grade 11. He has written a total of 10 APs over the past 2 years while diligently serving as a school prefect, performing with the orchestra, and competing in rowing. His peers will miss his compassionate nature and willingness to provide tutoring, particularly in math and science. Isaac is attending the University of Toronto next year in the Faculty of Applied Science and Engineering, where he will concentrate on aerospace engineering. Mariah Drabkin. A force to be reckoned with on the soccer pitch, on stage, in the backcountry, and in a slew of other leadership positions, Mariah is also well known for her smile, which has brightened many a day over her 4 years at St. Michael's. Eschewing the lure of men in kilts and university acceptances on the East Coast, she will be continuing to enjoy her family while she attends UVic in the fall in the science faculty. Leah Hall. There have been few spare moments during Leah's tenure at St. Michael's. A member of both the rowing and volleyball teams over the years, she has represented the school well. I have noticed that in nearly every school council-sponsored event, Leah is present, involved as an organizer or as a participant. She will take her winning smile first to Western University for fall term, and then hopefully on to Australia, where she intends to study dentistry. Candace Ip. Candace's watchword is humility. As head of student council, she worked tirelessly behind the scenes, making a difference quietly. The best times for her have been spent with friends over lunch at SMU and playing competitive badminton at junior national level. At the recent provincial badminton tournament, Candace won the MVP for the tournament. In the fall, she'll begin her engineering studies at UBC. Marcus Laluski. Marcus's natural athleticism led him to rowing, where he competed for the last 3 years. He has enjoyed being part of the Pride Alliance and Chapel team and would like to be remembered for always being friendly and outgoing. After spending the summer doing hard labor, he is planning to attend university in the fall. Jamie Lee. Jamie's passion is for things electronic, and he likes nothing better than to take computers apart and with a little luck put them back together. If that doesn't work, he turns his attention to writing code. He is a gifted mathematician. Remember this quiet, unassuming computer guy the next time a dot-com billionaire is announced. It may very well be him. It is entirely logical that he's heading to Waterloo this fall to study in the mathematics department. Marisol Moyagocho. Marisol was born in Monterrey, Mexico, and came to St. Michael's as a boarding student in grade 10. She's been kept busy with involvements in International Council, outdoor leadership, and providing leadership as a prefect in her boarding house. She was accepted to the University of the Arts very early in the admissions cycle and is delighted to be heading there to study in the fall. Lexus Meng. Lexus came from China via Vancouver in grade 10 to board at Harvey House. While mostly known around campus for his love of fast cars and designer footwear, he has also been a faithful attendee at the Daily Grind, where he honed his considerable business skills. At this point, his future is largely unplanned, but we think that he is destined to be a real estate tycoon one day. Meanwhile, his most immediate plan is to study business at SFU. Celeste Nussbaumer. A happy young lady with a bubbly personality, Celeste has been involved in several sports, Chapel team, Arts Council, and International Council. Highlights here have been organizing the Chinese Week Red Envelope Scavenger Hunt, choosing the shirts for Keep the Beat, and taking a turn on the stage in musical theater. An admitted homebody, Celeste is excited to be staying home to study psychology at UVic. Minhyuk Park. Minhyuk has had advantage of seeing St. Michael's from many angles, first as a boarder and then as a day student. His somewhat dreamy exterior hides a mind that enjoys things mathematical, and so it is small wonder that he has chosen to study engineering. He has already tested out the study carrels at UVic, and we trust that he will feel right at home at the Ontario Institute of Technology next year. Ellie Patmore. Born in England and raised in France, Eloise came to St. Michael's in grade 7. She has thrown her enthusiasm into Model UN, Chapel team, and day-to-day survival on planet Earth. King's College London will carry her studies ahead for the next 3 years as she challenges her tutors in international politics. Watch out, David Cameron. Ellie is on her way. Kyler Tots. Kyler has made an impact on everyone at SMU since his arrival in grade 6. He will be remembered for scoring that important goal in the Island Championships in soccer, for being captain of the Reach for the Top team, and particularly for his amazing academic prowess. Many students thank him for his willingness to tutor them. This summer, Kyler will be working at the Triumph Research Centre at UBC before he takes his Blythe Scholarship off to the University of Cambridge, where he will complete a 4-year master's degree in biomedical engineering. Do watch for his name in a few years when the Nobel Prizes are announced. Chloe Sui. Chloe joined the school in grade 8 as a boarder from Hong Kong. She has been an active participant in the business club and school musicals, but she is best remembered for her performances in the dance crew. This summer, she intends to try for her driver's license again. So watch out, Chloe may soon be on the road. In September, she'll be back in BC studying psychology at Simon Fraser University. Anna Wang. Anna has persevered through her last year of high school, and she is proud that she has finally made it through Geology 12. She is planning to take some time off next year and then will attend a university in China. I expect that one day she will find her place in the applied arts, and the folks back home will be seeking her out as interior decorator to the rich and famous. Adam Weech. Adam, a Bermudian who initially enrolled at St. Michael's in grade 7, is a true academic whose diligent work ethic earned him a sparkling GPA. Adam was a successful member of the school's tennis team, but spent his winters in the arena playing ice hockey. He will take his talents to UBC's Faculty of Science in the fall. Good luck, kid. Keep your head up and your stick on the ice. Vincent Wu. Vincent is best known around the school for his formidable academic prowess and for working his way from backstage crew to stage manager in the St. Michael's University School musicals. The university representative from Durham University was actually rendered speechless by Vincent's transcript and suggested an unconditional offer on the spot. I expect he will do very well when he heads off to rival King's College London to study business management in the fall. Marita Wyatt. Maria has been a stalwart participant in school council activities over her years at St. Michael's. She has appreciated the opportunity to meet people from all over the world while here. Recently, she disclosed that she has been pilfering soda crackers and peanut butter from Brown Hall for years, and that she has a thing for sandwiches created from these two culinary delights. This may stand her in good stead as she heads off to residence life at York University next year. Tina Yu. Tina is a dynamic young lady whose bright personality announces her arrival. After arriving from China in grade 6, she has contributed to the school's rowing program, arts council, and various service organizations, including Free the Children. Her positive spirit will be missed as she commits to the University of Waterloo's Knowledge Integration program in the fall. Alice Shang. Alice joined St. Michael's University School in grade 10 from Beijing and made an immediate impact on our community. Her diverse talents had her involved in field hockey, track and field, and the head of International Council. She was a strong contributor in the music program where she was the leader in the percussion section. Her interests are diverse, and so next year, Alice will attend McGill University, where she will study general arts while convincing her father that world travel is her true passion. Julia Zhang. Julia's interests are diverse and include chocolate fondue and Sherlock Holmes. Her curiosity is boundless, and she seeks understanding in all things. I will remember this cereal-munching young woman long after she is gone from St. Michael's, and look forward to hearing of her exploits as she moves on to the University of Toronto to study business at Rotman. And Greg Marchand.
Almost there, folks. Matthew Ashton. Matthew is a charismatic young man whose clever smile matches his sense of humor. An accomplished squash player, his enthusiastic personality has had a positive impact on his peers. We are certain of his successes to come as he steps onto the campus of the University of Calgary in September, working toward his ultimate goal of studying medicine. Chris Biola. Combining the dulcet tones of his voice with his knowledge gained on the rugby and soccer pitches, as well as his silky smooth saxophone playing, Chris could be either the next Ron MacLean or the next George Stroumboulopoulos. Having given the school many years of commitment with sports, multiple school music ensembles, and as an admissions ambassador, Chris will start on the road to his broadcasting career when he attends Ryerson University in Toronto next year. Teresa Cho. Without Teresa, our university counseling office might never have survived the year, as she was instrumental in greeting and organizing many of the 80-plus university visitors to our campus. And without her weekly presentations in assembly, the school would never have garnered all those important facts, which will certainly come in handy when she applies them to her engineering studies at the University of Alberta next year. Kate Cluley. Kate's quiet demeanor fronts a very focused and self-assured student and leader who has been a vital member of the school community in her athletic endeavors, her scholastic achievements, and her many contributions to the school, most notably her involvement as a link leader and in the recent grad fashion show. Kate is heading to Toronto next year and Ryerson University. Stanley Dew. Joining the SMUS community in grade 11, Stanley's keen interest in politics immediately steered him toward the Model UN Club. He has enjoyed his year as a senior in Barnacle House, and he will miss the West Coast next fall as he heads off to NYU for their highly regarded Stern School of Business and Life in the Big Apple. Liani Duplessis. A school prefect, Liani's involvement in the school this year has been multidimensional and reflective of her selfless, caring personality. Put her in a rowing shell, though, and no one dares get in her way. Liani is taking all of those outstanding character traits to Oregon State University, where she will continue to row while studying sciences. Shanna Fong. Shanna exploded onto the scene at SMUS in grade 7, and while certain teachers sometimes mispronounce her name, they certainly never have any issues identifying the quality of her work. Shanna expresses her artistic side through piano, notably her recent tour de force in the concerto concert and a memorable Grieg piano concerto that I certainly won't soon forget. She will be attending Queen's University next year in the Faculty of Science. Charles Gannon. If it produces music, Charlie can play it. Since arriving at the senior school, he's been a stalwart for the music department, playing drums, guitar, bass, and probably a tennis racket and a didgeridoo after a stay in Australia earlier in his SMUS career. Summer studies at the famed Berklee School of Music in Boston and a year off to hone his guitar skills will undoubtedly see Charlie making fabulous inroads in his musical craft. Alex Heydrich. Alex came to boarding in grade 11 from Alberta and has valued the new experiences and diverse group of people he has met in these 2 years. As he heads off to the University of Toronto and a business program next year, I have the feeling that Alex will soon be coming into his own and that we will hear of surprising and remarkable achievements from this young man. Maris Hopkins. Coming to SMUS as a day student in grade 8, Maris played on the basketball team and traveled to Europe on the music tour. The perseverance she displayed this year in overcoming injury and illness while continuing to succeed and thrive academically has been remarkable. She is attending UVic next fall in the Faculty of Social Sciences. Mark Kigundu. A small but powerful presence on the soccer, cricket, and rugby teams, Mark has also been an admissions ambassador, a member of the Athletics Council, a stellar school prefect, and a great roommate for Dawit, who both asked me one day if they could miss a planning class in order to not miss a hair appointment with the only hairdresser in town who knew, they assured me, how to properly cut their hair. Mark is off to UBC next year to study economics. Lisa Kinoshita. Lisa's genuine heart and empathic spirit made her a contributor to the Service Council and saw her volunteer her time at the Royal Jubilee Hospital. Many of her favorite moments originate from the experiential program, which has prepared her well for upcoming courses in the Faculty of Science at Queen's University. Katie Landry. Coming to SMUS in your grade 12 year is not easy, but Katie made a huge impact on the entire school and will be remembered and indeed missed for her many amazing contributions this year, from her role as the ethereal lily in the Secret Garden to her leadership on the chapel team, Pride Alliance, and Free the Children. Katie will continue to explore her artistic pursuits, especially singing, when she takes a gap year next year. Maddie Laslett. Maddie came to SMUS in grade 8 from the slopes of Whistler and has thoroughly enjoyed her time in Winslow House. She is proud of her perfect attendance in homeroom and all of the experiences she has had in the senior school, particularly as a member of the chapel team and E-team. Her future plans include eventually going to school in Australia. Jessie Locke. A devoted head of Simon's House, Jessie has brought her hard work and leadership to many activities this year, including admissions, scorekeeping, and peers. Originally from Edmonton, but having come to us from Hong Kong, Jessie heads a little closer to her birthplace when she goes to UBC next year. Wyatt Lutz. Wyatt, everybody's best friend Lutz, born in Calgary, Alberta, came to SMUS in grade 11 and jumped right in. Active in both the boarding and wider school communities, he enjoyed the outdoor leadership program and thrived as the Barnacle head of house in his grade 12 year. He is attending the Schulich School of Engineering at the University of Calgary next year. Keenan Manhas. Irrepressible is possibly the word that best describes Keenan. You can't keep his spirits down, particularly when it comes to sports, and by sports we mean rugby. The tour of Argentina was perhaps a defining moment in his life, one he will carry with him for a long time, at least until next year when he enters the School of Business at UBC. Jinsu Park. I'll never forget the first time Jinsu showed me the portfolio he was preparing for his university applications. I was stunned by the depth and artistry of his work and was almost as proud as he was when he sent it off to a variety of universities. This phenomenal artist has contributed to the school widely as a member of the school council, as well as the squash, soccer, and golf teams, and will be taking these wide-ranging skills to the architecture program at the University of Waterloo next year. Aaron Pollock. A school prefect, a member of the SMOO crew, an admissions ambassador, part of the organizing team for the 30-hour famine, and a leader who lives by her personal motto, "Hey, I have a great idea." Erin has done it all this year. She'll be remembered for much more than just burning her hand in Chem Lab as she heads to UVic next year. Archana Pillay. Originally from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Archana's single-minded devotion is the greatest asset she brought to the Academic Council and her editorship of the yearbook, an enormous job. But Archana will probably be most remembered as the young woman who literally built a school in India through her personal fundraising efforts. She will be attending Barnard College of Columbia University in New York to study chemistry and classical literature in the fall. Marvin Wren. Wasn't that an amazing performance? A brilliant classical guitarist, Marvin has shared his abilities in chapel, in the concerto concert at UVic, here tonight, today, and throughout the school. A soccer team player and link leader as well, Marvin will share his musical talents with the outside world, beginning with the guitar program at the University of Southern California next year. Sasha Wren. Joining the boarding community in grade 8, Sasha flourished in the arts club and brought home a deep sense of service from her school trip to Kenya. She carries away with her the 5 years of precious friendships in Winslow as she heads next year to the University of the Arts in London. Larissa Santiago. Larissa is perhaps the happiest person in the world. Her smile is infectious, brightening the many days she bounded into my office, and she can always be found laughing, sometimes so hard that her cage rib starts to hurt. She has taken part in the vocal jazz ensemble for the past 2 years and was also an SMUS ambassador and link leader. While she fluently speaks 4 official languages, English, Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish, her friends claim that there is a 5th, Laurissian. Next year, she plans on attending the University of Toronto, majoring in international relations. Trenton Schultz-Franco. Mr. Cricket himself, Trenton has enjoyed his varied involvements in school, from the basketball, soccer, and of course cricket teams he has played on, as well as the musical opportunities he's taken advantage of performing on the viola. Trenton is attending Oxford Brookes University in the UK to study law and continue to play a little cricket. John Shin. John was born in Korea and came to SMUS as a boarder in grade 9. He's enjoyed his time in both rowing and squash, while also contributing to the E-Team, Business Club, the Royal Jubilee Hospital as a volunteer. He's planning to attend the University of Toronto next year in the Faculty of Life Science. Rachel Sibbald. Rachel's energy and the depth of her involvement in school life are legendary. Her talents encompass many areas, from basketball to vocal jazz to co-head of Arts Council, and she is happiest when she's busy and somewhat stressed. Rachel was one of the organizers of a very successful Keep the Beat this year, and she managed to keep smiling throughout the entire day. A boarding prefect in Simon's House, Rachel plans to study psychology next year at McGill. Whitney, too. Whitney came to SMUS last year, and according to her her homeroom teacher, Mr. Dewar, is a good or awesome roommate, depending on who you ask. Her favorite memories of the school include traveling to India on a service trip. Although she is often described as humble and quiet, she can also be found playing the guitar and giggling with Carlina about whatever is on her phone. She will be attending the University of Toronto next year. David Wang. David might look like the strong, silent type, but he also has made a big impression on the SMUS community. He is engaged with all aspects of the school, making a name for himself on the senior basketball team, in the prefect council, and lending his talent on the saxophone in the school's swing band. Next year, he will be studying business in Toronto. Jacob Watkins. From the WAC, Chilliwack that is, Jacob came to SMUS in Harvey House in grade 9. He really enjoyed his time in boarding, especially in the E team and the leadership opportunities in the house. He plans to take a gap year and then attend UBC Okanagan after that. Shannon Wong. Always smiling and the enthusiastic catalyst that made assemblies fun and interesting with SMUS Got Talent, Shannon was a driving force behind the electronic version of the Ivy and a key contributor to the Student Council. Next year, she will be heading abroad to study medicine at the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. Dawit Werke. Watching Dawit Werke dribble through a full-court press on the basketball court or score a try between the uprights on the rugby pitch evokes in me the same sense of poetry as a finely crafted sonnet. An outstanding student ambassador and link leader, Dawit has been the well-respected head of Bolton House this year and will be entering the pre-med program while maintaining his rugby career at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire next year. Jocelyn Yan. If anyone can brighten up your day, it's Jocelyn. She has a smile for everyone. And by the way, that's Jocelyn with 2 E's, so don't believe the brick in the quad. She was thrilled to go to Kamloops 3 years in a row for the basketball provincial championships. After a gap year, she plans to study criminology. And now Ms. LaMarche will present the lifers, those students who have attended SMUS since kindergarten or grade 1.
Lyndon Carter. A fine scholar, a talented musician, an actor, a school prefect, and our resident DJ at dances and special events, Lyndon's life in the school has been enriching for him and for the school community. Now he takes his enriched and enriching self to Edmonton's MacEwan University, where he will continue his studies in the music field. Sophia Ducharme. A talented young woman in all areas of our school, and one who is always smiling. Sophia's favorite memories of the school revolve around being part of the athletic community through her participation on the senior volleyball and basketball teams. She will be attending the University of Toronto in the fall to study linguistics and to continue her athletic career as a member of the varsity basketball team. And no doubt her parents just might appear on the sidelines from time to time. Christopher Fenier. Who can ever hear the last post without thinking of Chris? His musical talents are legendary, and both his trumpet and his genial nature will be sorely missed. He conserved some of his breath for the rowing team, where he also distinguished himself highly as a teammate and an athlete. Chris epitomizes the type of student that the school's mission statement describes, and he will surely to go on to make his mark at Northwestern, where he will study trumpet in the Bienen School of Music. Luke Friswell. A runner and a rower, Luke has become used to early mornings and long distances. People may think of him as the guy who should have taken physics, but if they look for him next year, they'll find him at University of Western Ontario in London studying the biological sciences. Ashley Hoydle-Payne. Ashley has been an active participant in Student Council, Amnesty International, Pride Alliance, Chapel Team, Orchestra, Peers, Outdoor Leadership, Intramural Yoga and Dance, and has done countless hours of volunteer work. When asked about her experience here, Ashley said, "The SMUS community has always supported me in my journey as I grow and evolve into the person I am ultimately destined to be." This thoughtful young woman moves on to UVic in the fall, where she will begin her post-secondary journey. Georgios Economou. As an athlete, a musician, a scholar, and a thoughtful young adult, Georgios exemplifies the pillar of the school: honesty, courage, respect, and service. He has made the most of each opportunity presented to him, has both accepted and provided support whenever needed, and through his actions, he has played an active role in shaping his community. He will no doubt make his mark at UBC next year, where he will enter the Faculty of Science. Hannah McElderry. Hannah has taken in everything that SMUS has to offer. She has been a rower, participated in outdoor leadership and the experiential program. She lived up to the height of her double bass and was deeply committed to multiple clubs and councils, exemplified through her work as head of service council this year. Hannah will take up residence in the fall at Carleton University in the Faculty of Journalism. David Pollan. Whether it was on the rugby field, the soccer pitch, or the basketball court, David could always be found where the athletic action was the thickest. We will definitely miss this relaxed, yet hard-working, rock-solid young student and athlete when David heads off next year to the University of Calgary to study business. Samuel Reed. The most enduring memory that anyone at this year's boot game would have of Sam this year is watching him single-handedly not just tackle, but drive back a full 10 meters an Oak Bay ball carrier who looked to be twice Sam's size. A school prefect, member of the athletic council, and captain of the first 15, Sam is the last of the brilliant Reed dynasty, an MUS family who will sorely be missed. Sam is off to the University of Calgary next year to study business. Christian Sharp. While Christian is generally a quiet young man, he can move like the wind and is known for feats of athleticism, such as clearing fences in a single bound. He has been at SMUS for the past 13 years, and he claims to have seen it all. Next year, he will be cruising on to UVic on a scooter to study business. Graham Wheeler. A proud lifer, Graham Wheeler has blossomed over his years at SMUS into an energetic, confident young man who is willing to stand up for what he believes in. An engaging actor and leader of the Pride Alliance, Graham is heading off to Montreal to study theater at Concordia University. Mark Yorath. Mark continues the family tradition of success within the SMUS community. We will miss his creative vision on the basketball court, where he electrified the home crowd and brought them to their feet at the 2011 Junior Boys Provincial Final. Mark is a principled and dedicated young man, and we wish him continued success as he heads to UVic next year to study social sciences and physical education.
Thank you very much to the presenters. Just before we move into the special presentations for the Grade 12 awards, I would just like to congratulate all of the graduates of this year's 2013 graduating class. Well done. Mr. Grant, if I could ask you once again to help us out. We're going to begin the presentation of the special awards with the Alumni Award for Outstanding Achievement in Science. This award goes to the student or students who achieve an average of 97% or higher in 3 or more grade 12 sciences. This year's recipients of the Alumni Award for Outstanding Achievement in Science are Richard Cunningham and Kyler Tots. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Grant. I would now like to ask Mr. David Angus, Chair of the Board, to present the next 3 special awards. The first of the special awards is the Nesta Bowen Horn Plaque for Art. Would Jeffrey Wu please come forward? The commitment Jeffrey has shown to the art program over the past 4 years has been impressive. In his grade 11 year, he successfully completed AP Studio Art and was a participant in the Open Door to Art program at the Art Gallery of Greater Victoria. This year, he has taken AP Art History and Digital Art, has designed posters for, we're not done yet, for musical events, and has shown his work in the Limelight exhibition at the Cedar Hill Recreation Center. He has also contributed his artistic talents to help increase awareness of social injustice within the SMU community. He is in the art room almost daily, serving as a strong role model for other students. This wonderful and self-effacing young man, who is going to London in the fall to study architecture, thoroughly deserves this award for his outstanding contribution to visual arts. The next special award is the Blanco Cup for Music. The Blanco Cup is shared this year by Chris Biola, Lyndon Carter, Callie Salmas, Cormac O'Brien, and Charlie Gannon. These are all talented, dedicated, and versatile musicians, and added together would make a fantastic musical group. Fantastical, what word is that? Not quite One Direction, but might make for excellent summer jobs. These students individually and collectively have performed in nearly every ensemble and became mainstays for boarding and weekly chapel services, either on stage themselves or supporting other student performances. Although we will be sad to see these inspiring musicians move on from SMU, we are thankful for the musical legacy they leave for the students who will follow in their footsteps. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating our Blanco Cup for Music winners. Our final special award is the Colin Skinner Trophy for Musical Theater. This trophy is awarded in the memory of Colin Skinner, who taught at SMU for 28 years and established the school as a provincial leader in musical theater. The award recognizes the work of a student or students who have shown skill, dedication, and service in the tradition of musical theater. Would Katie Landry please come forward? As we learned earlier, this is Katie's first year at SMU, but you would never know it as she's made fitting into our programs and the grad class appear seamless. Katie is a classic triple threat with singing, acting, and dancing as a mainstay of her musical talents. Katie will be most widely remembered for her angelic voice as Lily in The Secret Garden, but also was a shining light in virtually all the vocal ensembles and in her portrayal of Lady Cynthia Muldoon in the grade 12 performance of The Real Inspector Hound. Katie should be extremely proud of the musical memory she has left with her SMU audiences, and we congratulate her for this well-deserved accomplishment. Thank you very much, Mr. Angus. You've earned a well-deserved break. The head of school, Mr. Snowden, will now come forward to present the Headmaster's Awards. In keeping with the past few years, I will reference these awards with the Virtue Project, a worldwide initiative which serves humanity by supporting the moral and spiritual development of all people. The Virtues Project is embedded in the curriculum of our junior school, and it seems appropriate to bring it full circle by using the language of the Virtues Project to recognize graduating students who have made a special contribution to the life of the school, or what the Virtues Project would call gifts of character. Our first recipient is Becca Clayton. Becca's gifts of character are in nimbleness. That's not on the list. Integrity, compassion, and assertiveness, all of which she has demonstrated quietly and consistently at her time at the school. Becca has been a mainstay in our community supporting initiatives such as the chapel team, link leaders, and both the service and prefect councils. Becca has also shown her versatility and commitment to the idea of team as a member of Senior Girls Soccer, the Global Responsibility Young Leaders Conference, the Ivy, and on stage singing with the vocal ensemble and with the cast of The Secret Garden. Becca's assertiveness crystallized for her and all of us at the Prefect Leadership Retreat when she became aware of her inner yellow box on the Berkman personality profile. Throughout the year, this strength of character helped keep many prefect meetings on task and to the point. Becca epitomizes quiet dedication and will leave us all with her pretty indelible legacy. Our next recipient is Richard Cunningham. A singer and musician, Richard, AKA the 5th Canadian tenor. Baritone. Baritone. The first Canadian baritone has modeled the virtues of courage, confidence, and commitment in his time at SMU. A member of the chapel team, student council, TGIF, the concert singers, several musical groups, along with using his honor roll intelligence on the illustrious Reach for the Top team, Richard has truly demonstrated what it means to be dedicated to the arts and to our community. With a quiet confidence that seemed to grow tenfold during the year, Richard's melodious gifts became a vocal mainstay as part of our concert singers and also in a multitude of solo pieces, culminating in an outstanding performance at the final concerto concert. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Cunningham. Our next recipient is Mariah Drabkin. Service, creativity, and enthusiasm come to mind as Mariah's gifts of character. Like the coiled springs in her hair, the potential energy of this young woman was released this year on a number of fronts, including senior girls soccer, as a link leader, on stage in the Secret Garden, and as an outdoor leader. However, the SMU community truly saw the release of enthusiasm as this service-driven, never-tiring co-head of the Arts Council led us through community art events, acoustic concerts, and a half-hour, at least, Keep the Beat promotion in assembly. To say that Mariah is passionate about service and the arts would be a massive understatement. The next recipient is Carlina Kim. Carlina will be remembered for commitment, honor, and modesty when she gets up here. When considering this boarding student's many contributions to the school, and these include being a link leader, the Ivy, peers, the Arts Council, Free the Children, being an admissions ambassador, outdoor leadership, the Secret Garden, rowing, and a member of the Prefect Council, Carlina certainly used all 168 hours in her week. Having said this, her modesty virtue was encountered when her quiet persona launched into song. Carlina was a pillar of our vocal community, whether around a campfire at a farm in Seattle, singing It's Cold Outside in chapel, or as part of many group efforts like the outstanding performance at our recent jazz night. Carlina absolutely exemplifies full SMU experience, and our community is much richer for her contributions. Carlina Kim. Our next recipient is Ryan Leider. Ryan's gifts of character are kindness, diligence, and friendliness, all of which he has demonstrated through his quiet leadership at the school. As a link leader on the chapel team playing soccer. Not yet. But that was very considerate of you to ask. Playing soccer and cricket and flexing his brain muscle on the reach for the top team, Ryan has consistently demonstrated high standards, a strong sense of social responsibility, and genuine compassion for everyone in the school. I recall Ryan as one of the first students outside of the prefect and council heads to ask me how I was doing at the beginning of the school year, reinforcing the notion that SMU is a special place where the I am teacher, you are student divide can easily be blurred with kindness and friendliness. It is Ryan's care and compassion for everyone around him, combined with his verbal acuity that he demonstrated at recitation evening, that has led him to the accolade of being voted by his peers as the class's co-valedictorian. Ryan Leider. Our next recipient is Wyatt Lutz. This head of house and boarding student from High River, Alberta, there he is, has gifts of character that include determination, loyalty, and respect. Wyatt lives by the highest values of being sincere and inclusive and speaking and acting with the good of all in mind. Even when he had conversations with me and started his sentence with the word dude, I knew that what was coming next was filled with respect, enthusiasm, and a benefit to the community. Wyatt's values have manifested in his deep commitment to the boys in Barnacle House, his classmates, his fellow rowers, and particularly in his drive to raise awareness and much-needed funding during Movember. Wyatt absolutely models the tenet that leadership is action and not a position. Wyatt. Well done. Our next recipient is Jackie McKay. Caring, humility, and service are three of what could be a long list of character gifts for this young woman. As a head of house and boarding student, Jackie connected with every student and every element of SMU education that you could possibly imagine. She was a link leader, a multi-sport athlete, photographer, award-winning writer, service council member, Amnesty International supporter, service trip participant, and on top of that, a fantastic and fun human being. I'm not sure if Jackie could have squeezed much more into her time at SMU other than her singing debut today at closing ceremonies. No? Okay. And she has a great sense of humor. What is most compelling about Jackie is her quiet, assured thoughtfulness, a quality which she has put into excellent use with the girls in Timmins House and as a committed member of the grad class. Jackie. Our next recipient is David Paulin. David has been a gentleman and a determined scholar characterized by virtues of self-discipline, integrity, and excellence. As a three-sport athlete, link leader, and a member of both the Athletic Council and Free the Children, David leads strongly with a quiet voice. There is perhaps no other recipient this morning who has made the concerted effort that David has over his high school years to strive for the goals he has achieved today. David can be exceptionally proud of his accomplishments, the residuals of which have enhanced our school culture and have enriched the lives of our students and staff. David's values, drive, and his care for others will be an outstanding foundation on which great things will be built. David Paulin. Our next recipient is Rachel Sibbald. This boarding prefect, all the way from across town in Victoria, has gifts of character that include commitment, creativity, and enthusiasm. Through all the vocal performances this year, and as the co-head of the Arts Council and Keep the Beat organizer, one might perceive Rachel as being drawn to the musical side of SMU. This, of course, until you watched her play basketball, where it was not uncommon to see Rachel's feet in the air as she dove headfirst after the ball with reckless disregard for her face. Or the fact that 2 hours later she would be in a dress, singing or playing the saxophone in one of the many concerts and performances of which she was a part. Rachel's gifts of character focus on her commitment to team, whether sport, musical, house, or peers. Rachel is a young woman with everyone's best interests at heart and who has much to be proud of. Rachel. The final recipient is Joseph Svorkdal. This young man is the personification of leadership that seeks no glory and who constantly looked for and found the positive potential in everything around him. Joseph's gifts of character include generosity, courtesy, and trustworthiness, which served him well on the water in rowing and as a member of the prefect council. As a prefect, Joseph was often a strong and objective voice in a room of A-type personalities that brought conversations back to the task at hand, ensuring that everyone, including our submarine types, those prefects who waited for just the right moment to surface with their comments, were heard from and respected. This inclusive nature, combined with Joseph's award-winning debating skills, were a combination that allowed him to successfully support many discussions to positive outcomes, with perhaps the exception of grad sweaters becoming part of the uniform. Nice try. Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating all of our Headmaster Award winners. David. I would now like to ask Mr. Angus to please return to present the major grade 12 awards. I would like to begin by calling to the stage the following students: Abby Piazza, Dawit Warkey, Ethel Kagundu, Sam Reed, Orla Glenn, Chris Fenge, Sophia Descharmes, Georgia Economou, Leanne Farmer, Kyler Tots, Leanne Duplessis, Riley Erickson, Candace Ip, Gabe Lunn, and Mark Kagundu. Wait. You're clapping, but you don't know what the award is yet. The Carol Lobb Award is given to female and male athletes who demonstrate excellence in athletics, do well academically, and contribute to the school community during their time at SMU. These students collectively share an impressive list of accomplishments. 7 are prefects, 2 are council heads, and several captain school teams. Together, they represent participation in rowing, basketball, soccer, squash, cross-country running, cricket, field hockey, and volleyball. And their collective academic average is 91.3%. As individuals, these are high-performance young men and women. Abby has been described quite simply as unstoppable. Ethel has won every sportsperson award the school offers. Orla is unbelievably driven in games and didn't break anything this year. Leanne sets the bar with high standards and engagement in all that she does. Sophia's spikes and three-point shooting made tremendous highlight reels, made by her father. Candace has been described as a quiet leader and will take this to the national stage in badminton this year. And Leanne is described as always positive and buoyant, which is a fantastic thing when you're a rower. The boys are equally impressive. Sam has been described as principled and gracious in his leadership. Chris's success on the water is only paralleled by the magic of his trumpet. Kyler has had more than one teacher say that Cambridge is lucky to be getting him. Georgia has fought back from last year's injury and finally saw the light, moving to rugby. And like Orla, made it through 3-sport year without breaking a single bone. Gabe quietly left competitors on the track in his dust. Riley epitomized that the tough got going during the season of rowing. That's a rhyme, see that? Mark was an infectious source of energy for his teammates, and Dawit had an unrivaled year that will serve him well as he heads to Dartmouth in September. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding this year's Carol Lobb Award winners. For the next award, I would like to ask Shayla Balmer, Hannah McElderry, Cormac O'Brien, Lyndon Carter, Chiara Clemente, Riley Erickson, and Orla Glenn to come forward. The Brian Dyer Award is for community service initiated here at the school. Students who receive this award are truly passionate about helping others and are genuinely altruistic in their worldview. That each of these young men and women has participated in numerous service events at the school goes without saying. When I counted the number of major initiatives for the group collectively, there were over 24. But each student is also known for going above and beyond in particular ways. For Cormac, it was Keep the Beat, which provided a great day and one of the most rocking chapel presentations of the year. For Hannah, it was her leadership as the head of Service Council and with the recent Barefoot soccer tournament. Lyndon's involvement in nearly every service initiative and being the ever-present music provider. Riley was pivotal in his involvement in Amnesty International and Pride Alliance. And Shayla, Chiara, and Orla, who are our dynamic trio leading our Free the Children team, the 30-hour famine group, and help break the cycle of homelessness in our own city of Victoria. Our world is a better place for the likes of these leaders, and we thank them for inspiring us to believe in the power of one in the context of many. The Darlene McHugh Award is for building bridges between diverse groups in the community. This year's recipients personify the very best in what happens when motivated, creative, and inclusive young people make outstanding use of their talents. Would Shayla Balmer, Hannah McElderry, Cormac O'Brien, Lyndon Carter, and Riley Erickson please come back to the stage? Makes it more of a surprise that way. You have already heard a little bit about each of their involvement with service, but each of these students worked tirelessly this year to connect with students in lower grades, and especially with helping to welcome the grade 9s and new students to the senior school campus. After developing credos with both the prefect and heads of councils, each of these students found their own way to connect all students in homerooms, in boarding houses, on councils, around the campus, and with peers who may share different opinions about a myriad of topics. We can be very proud of the bridges they have built, the dialogues they have started, and most importantly, the legacies they have left with us who continue on at SMU in September. Please join me in celebrating this year's Darlene McHugh Award recipients. The Gru Salver Award is for community service separate from the school. I would like to welcome Archana Pillay, Vincent Wu, Jeffrey Wu, Ashley Hoydle-Payne, Teresa Cho, and James Kim to the stage. I believe it's fair to say that these 6 young people strongly reflect the power of youth and voice to make a difference. Their contributions vary from volunteering at the James Bay Community Closet, a second-hand store with extreme outreach, in several different units of the hospital, at the Vic City International Jazz Festival, at the Salvation Army store, and in Archana's case, which we heard earlier this morning, fundraising and completing the building of a school and library in the south of India, which is remarkable. We are in the presence of visionary and selfless young people who inspire all of us to realize our roles in making the world a better place at SMU, in Victoria, and around the world. Please join me in celebrating these remarkable servant leaders. For the next award, would Shayla Balmer, Ethel Kagundu, Hannah McElderry, Lyndon Carter, Orla Glenn, Chiara Clemente, and Riley Erickson please come forward? The Nation Bowl is awarded for citizenship. More specifically, the Nation Bowl is awarded for kindness, moral and social responsibility, a willingness to act, and a desire to shape community. Each one of these students has left a legacy of citizenship at the school. They are all talented young men and women whose leadership has been defined by inclusion, consideration, helpfulness, and a strong sense of aspiration for the best SMU community can be. Each has a personal resume of accomplishments, which is quite frankly awesome. And yet, what is most compelling about Shayla, Ethel, Hannah, Lyndon, Orla, Chiara, and Riley is a remarkable sense of humility and the practice of always putting others first. Please join me in congratulating this year's Nation Bowl recipients. There is an exceptional all-arounder award for each grade in the senior school, and at the grade 12 level, it is called the Kerr Cup, which places equal emphasis on scholarship, athletics, fine arts, leadership, and character. I would like to call to the stage Abby Piazza, Chris Fenge, Shayla Balmer, Riley Erickson, Lyndon Carter, and Hannah McElderry. Let's start with scholarship. If you added up their grades together right now, their shared academic average would be 92.4%. and they have 23 academic citations on their records of achievement. Athletics. We have color ties and all 3 terms covered, playing soccer, basketball, volleyball, cross-country running, rowing, and track and field. Arts. We have color ties and involvement in areas such as the musical, both on and backstage, multiple bands, ensembles, and vocal groups, art, film club, recitations, digital design, creative writing, adventures in public discourse, and even helping with the middle school production of Annie. Leadership and character. I'd like to offer comments from various staff. Shayla has an amazingly positive attitude, and when decisions need to be made, she always considers other people and what impact it would have on them. Lyndon never forgot what it felt like to be a new student in the music room, and as a result, he has welcomed and openly encouraged our younger musicians to be part of the school's music scene. He is a fantastic role model who will be sorely missed next year. Riley is a natural and exceptional role model. He is positive, capable, hardworking, respectful of others, and is well respected by both peers and staff. Abby is a key player on all of her sports teams. She leads by example in her work ethic and competitive nature. She can be relied upon to be a vocal leader of the team, which is a testament to the respect she has earned by teammates and coaches alike. Hannah possesses the kind of natural leadership skills that make her a wonderful role model for younger students at the school. Hannah sees a need and rises to the occasion, and along the way is always sure to lend a hand, offer a smile, and inspire those around her. Chris is a humble and conscientious student who leads quietly by example. He earns respect when he speaks up, and people listen. He always faces the challenges given to him. He demonstrates a high level of maturity, and his demeanor encourages both older and younger students to follow in his footsteps. In the end, he is one I would most like to have as my next-door neighbor. Those of us who work in the school are humbled by the likes of Shayla, Riley, Chris, Lyndon, Abby, and Hannah, and at the same time, they are what make our jobs here so worthwhile. Please join me in congratulating this year's Kerr Cup recipients. Ladies and gentlemen, it now gives me great pleasure to turn the microphone over to 2 students who have been introduced to us this morning, highlighting both their commitment to our school and their selfless dedication to their peers and everyone in our community. With this said, there is little surprise that when it came to representing the 2013 graduating class, that these 2 students were wholeheartedly supported by their peers. Ladies and gentlemen, our valedictorians, Ethel Kagundu and Ryan Leiter.
Now for the event we have all been waiting for. Please welcome to the grade 12 stage a group that is gifted, that is involved, and that is Smooth's all-time favorites. Put your hands together for the graduating class of 2013, and the crowd goes wild.
Good morning, Mr. Snowden, Mr. Rodford, members of the board, faculty, family, and fellow students. That was the introduction for my prefix self-nomination essay in grade 11, and I cannot believe how accurate I was. I went on to brag about the legacy my grad class would leave that would be remembered for up to 50 alumni weekends, at least. As a grad class, we dreamt big, but delivered bigger. I am not claiming that SMU was broken and needed to be fixed, but rather that we added some important pieces to the SMU puzzle that made this year more complete. As the female valedictorian of my graduating class, I have been granted the opportunity to go on and on about just how awesome this grade has been in the SMU community. It is no secret that the rugby boys brought home the boots, or that the Free the Children Gala was successful. These are great achievements and worth celebrating, and today, Ryan and I are here to represent the successes of the entire grade. I will be the first to admit that creating change is not as easy as we imagined it to be in grade 11, when all we did was critique what was wrong, but did nothing particularly helpful. This year, when we were given almost ultimate freedom to try, we faced the same obstacles the grad classes of previous years had faced, but did not bother to warn us about. Who knew how hard it would be to motivate a council of high-strung teenagers to plan something bigger than themselves? Nevertheless, Student Council lifted school spirit to the next level. Arts Council kept a hip and happening beat. Academic Council filled our brains with interesting and very random facts. Service Council orchestrated the first barefoot soccer tournament. Outdoor Council made sure that out trips were not limited to once a year. Athletic Council used the internet to celebrate epic sport moments. Prefect Council gave their all with a record-breaking grad auction. Thanks, Lexus. And International Council brought all the world's finest delicacies to Brown Hall. Our hard work has been worth a standing ovation. This handsome group of graduates would be nothing but looks if it was not for the encouragement and guidance from our teachers and parents. On behalf of all the fortunate students that have crossed the stage, I would like to thank our parents and parental figures, house parents, that have pushed us to work hard and stay focused. Thank you for driving us everywhere, though we drove you crazy with our complicated social, sports, and academic schedules. A sincere thanks to our understanding teachers who always came to class genuinely happy to teach us, even if it meant marking a big pile of your turns and an even bigger pile of redos. We all agree that we have been best prepared to excel in the real world due to the efforts of our coaches, house parents, teachers, and GTP survey. It's hard to realize how precious the SMU community is until you have to depart. Once we step into residence life in university, we will start to miss Brown Hall with its unique variety and kind, hardworking staff. It's no secret to the boarders that Victoria is one of the most beautiful places in the world, but sometimes we disregard the beauty of our evergreen campus. Thank you to all the cleaners, gardeners, and Brown Hall staff that have spent the past years cleaning up after us and making sure that our school always looked immaculate. When this graduating class sent away their applications to universities and for scholarships all over the world, they were received with enthusiasm. After 13 years of preparation, late-night studying, and an incredible amount of essays, we were rewarded with acceptance letters from top post-secondary institutions. We went from being unsure high school students to confident young adults, all in the reading of an acceptance letter. Unfortunately, for the adults in our life, this triggered the carefree and dismissive attitudes that has been coined as senioritis. Doctors have announced that the only cure to this crippling disease is a traditional ceremony termed graduation. Thank you to our supportive parents and teachers who have tried to help us fight this epidemic, but you can rest assured it is almost over. To my fellow classmates, today is one of the last times we will be together as a grade, so this moment should be cherished. We are surrounded by people who want to see us succeed and be happy. So when life gets challenging and you feel like just a number in our hectic world, remember this moment. Remember the people who believe in you and your abilities. Remember that there are people that love you, whether you succeed or fail. From these memories, you will attain the strength to wake up every day and try harder. Now we say farewell to St. Michael's University School. We are grateful for the experiences and knowledge we were given. We also step forward into our futures with the knowledge that we are equipped to make a difference in our communities. We have been so privileged to get a great high school education, as many 18-year-olds around the world will never cross their graduation stage. So let us not waste this opportunity to do something remarkable for the world. The graduating class of 2013 has never ceased to impress, and we will continue this legacy wherever we find ourselves next year. I am proud to be part of the class of tomorrow's leaders. Good luck to next year's grade 12s. We know we have left big shoes for you to fill, but we are confident that you will do an excellent job. Congratulations to the class of 2013. With the help of everyone in the theater, we were triumphant. At the beginning of most sports matches, SMU has this tradition of starting with a cheer. The game is life, and graduation is our team huddle. Let's go out and be victorious. Vivat on 3. 1, 2, 3, vivat.
Good morning, Mr. Snowden, members of the board, faculty, family, and fellow students. Today it is our job to summarize the class of 2013 and to speak a little bit about our future and where we're headed, which isn't as easy as it may sound. I mean, sure, it's been made even more difficult by the fact that this speech, like most of my English essays, was written the night before, and I haven't exactly looked it over yet, so please bear with me. Oh, and for any of you teachers who may or may not be involved in a guessing game as to when these ceremonies will end this year, my speech is approximately 5 minutes long, if that helps. Before I entered high school, I always had a somewhat misled view of what my high school life would look like. Ferris Bueller convinced me there would be days in my senior year where I would call in sick and ride around town in a red Ferrari. But I'm not Lexus, so... Mean Girls had me dreaming about the day where a man in a Santa Claus costume would barge into my classroom, hand me candy, and yell, "You go, Glen Coco!" Although those events never happened, thankfully my high school life didn't include moments such as those from Mr. Snowden's high school life. You know, the one with the bed surfing and the headmaster slowly taking off his belt to deliver the punishment. You're right, Mr. Snowden. I don't think kids in our generation quite understand experiences such as that. That being said, when we entered high school 4 years ago, none of us could fathom the experience we were about to undergo here at St. Michael's. I mean, who would have thought that at the beginning of grade 9, we would learn a handshake called the hybrid that we could use to greet each other up until the day we graduate? Or that in grade 10, one of our classmates would somehow manage to get his ring finger stuck in the hole of a desk chair in the middle of drama class and would have to be taken along with the chair to the infirmary. You know who you are. Yet here we are at the end of our final year at SMU, a grad class now on its way out the door, on a day not even the Mayans believed would come. When we leave, we'll be taking with us some of the most talented artists, singers, and musicians the school has seen in recent years. A majority of the school's A-list actors, the hard workers behind the scenes, mathletes, field hockey stars, badminton champs, and the crew that brought the boot back where it belongs. What we lacked in senior pranks, we more than made up for in our accumulation of parking violations and speeding tickets. So as we, members of the graduating class of 2013, gather here today, a group so heavily cursed with technical difficulties when presenting in school assemblies that they decided to seat us in the Royal Theater, a venue that's been able to support the performances of many historic celebrities such as Weird Al Yankovic, Caesar Milan the Dog Whisperer, and some musician who slips my mind. As we gather, let us reminisce on the memories we've made during our time at SMU. Memories which may include adventures on school out trips, math your turns, in-class quotes of Mr. Dewar, more math your turns, acoustic concerts at lunch, spirit days, time spent sitting with friends on the beautiful fields of our campus, and best of all, the jokes of Riley and Orla in Monday morning assembly. Every Monday morning. As we gather, it's also important to note the impact the school has had on our lives, as well as the mark we have left as a class on the school. And no, when I speak about leaving marks, I don't mean the markings on the grad table of the library or that applesauce stain that we made on the Monkman ceiling 4 years ago. Through the tireless work and dedication of the faculty and staff here at SMU, we've been given the pen and ink to write the next chapter in our lives. And I'm confident that each and every member of this year's grad class is well equipped with the tools to build whatever future we may dream of. So although this is a valediction, a farewell speech to our lives as students of St. Michael's, it is not a farewell speech to the memories and bonds we have made during our time here. We've made inerasable memories and strong friendships that no matter the circumstances in the upcoming years will remain just as impervious as they are today. And whilst our lives will all undergo changes, some things will never change, and I can guarantee you, come reunion, the Vancouver Canucks will continue to embarrass their fans just as much as they do today. Congratulations, St. Michael's University School, class of 2013. In the words of Canadian rapper Drake, we started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now our whole crew is here. We are here today, and tomorrow we'll be off and away. Well, figuratively, of course. I mean, we'll probably all still be here tomorrow. We better all still be here tomorrow. I spent way too much time choosing a grad outfit, and I'm not missing the opportunity to eat and dance the night away with all of you. Come grad dinner dance. I'll see you all there, and thank you.
Great job, you guys. Terrific words of inspiration, Ethel and Ryan. Thank you very, very much for that. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous to think that this wonderful celebration is being timed. So, as we approach the conclusion of the ceremony, slowly, we would like to welcome the grads and their families to a light luncheon in the double gym at the school immediately following the ceremony, but please feel welcome to stay afterwards for lots of photographs in and around the theater. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of all 3 verses of the school song, followed by Reverend Kevin Fletcher with a final blessing.
Mr. Rodford wanted us to savor this moment by singing additional verses of the school song, but instead I'm going to use that time and just ask you to embrace this moment a little longer, because in a few moments, all the work that's gone to get us to this place, well, we're going to remember it, build on it, but leave it behind. So I have 3 things in 90 seconds. First, a closing word to the 11s. Come September, yours will be the oldest class, and you'll set the tone for the school. It'll be you who brings those pieces that make our puzzle more complete. So over this summer, think about what you do with that opportunity and how you're going to have a great time playing that role. 2, a closing word to the 12s. At our school, we talk a lot about promise and passion and pillars. And we realize that the mere mention of these things hurries you across that suspension bridge of which Mr. Snowden spoke. Yet you've been subjected to years of repetition because these ideals are what we hope for you. That in the coming years you cut through the dross of life and find out who you are and what you can do in this world, so that you have reason to live with a sense of passion, and so that when you look yourselves in the mirror, you know that not only do you look good, but you have made ground on becoming good, and all that goodness entails for you, for those closest to you, and this world for which we're all responsible. There is nothing greater for which we could hope, and it is our prayer for you. Third and last, a closing prayer, a short single thought. Let us pray. Gracious God, so much has been said this morning about our school, about our students. Perhaps all that is missing is a last expression of our gratitude. We offer our thanks. Amen. Now go, whether you're in your teens or your 70s, the world awaits. Let's go and play our part. Vivat!